Hello, everybody. So we're going to work on lesson 5.5, decimal division. And our essential question is how can you use a model to divide by a decimal? All right, so you'll need decimal models, which are basically 100 boxes and color pencils. And so let's look at the investigation. Lisa is making reusable shopping bags. She has 3 and 6 yards of fabric. She needs 3/10 yard of fabric for each bag. How many shopping bags can she make from 3 and 6 tenths yards of fabric? So shade decimal models to show 3 and 6 tenths. So I've prepared mine ahead of time. So this will represent one hole, two holes, three holes, and 6 tenths. All right, so 3 and 6 tenths need to be shaded. Okay. Now cut apart your model to show tenths. So each strip is 1/10 of the whole. Okay, so if we took this whole one, there are 10 strips in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So each strip is 1/10 of the decimal model. All right, so now separate the tenths into as many groups of 3/10 as you can, because we were dividing by 3/10. So we're just going to set out groups of 3/10. 3, 6. Okay, so two groups of three groups of three, four, six groups of three, and you just keep going till we get to the having no more tenths left. So I'm at 6 so far. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I was able to make 12 groups of 3/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. So how many pieces did I have total? I had 36 3/10. 36 3/10. 36 tenths. So when I colored in 3 holes and 6 tenths, I could think of that as 36. So how many groups of tenths are there? There are 12 groups of 3/10. So 3 and 6 tenths divided by 3/10 is 12. So she can make 12 shopping bags. Okay, number 1. Explain why you made each group equal to the divisor. Why did we put 3/10 in every group? Because I needed to find the number of groups of 3/10 in 3 and 6 tenths. Okay, I needed to find the number of 3/10 in 3 6/10. All right, number 2. Identify the problem you would be modeling if each strip in the model represents 1. Well, again, if each of these strips was one whole, I had 36 of them because I had 12 groups of 3. So I'd have 36 divided by how many in each group? There were 3 in each group. So I would have been doing 36 divided by 3, which is 12. So Dennis has 2 7/10 yards of fabric to make bags that require 9/10 yards of fabric each. Describe a decimal model you can use to find how many bags he can make. Okay, in this case, I would shade 2 holes and 7/10 of a third hole. I would cut them apart and put them in groups of 9/10. I would have 27 strips. So I would have 3 groups of 9. Okay. All right, we can also use the decimal model to divide by hundredths. So again, we need decimal models and color pencils. So this case, Julie has $1.75 in nickels. How many stacks of 25 cents can she make from $1.75? So shade your decimal models to show 1 75 hundredths. Okay, well, so that would be one whole, right? 100 hundredths. And this would represent 75 hundredths. So we have one whole and 75 hundredths. So there are 1 ones and 75 hundredths. Okay, so basically we have 175 squares colored, right? Okay, we're going to cut apart our model to show groups of 25. So I did that ahead of time. And so I cut them apart in groups of 25. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 25 hundredths. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 25 hundredths. So 7 groups of 25 hundredths. So what is 1 75 hundredths divided by 25 hundredths? 7. So she can make 7 stacks of 25 cents from $1.75. Okay. So basically, when we say 1 75 divided by 25 hundredths, we're really looking, we can actually just think of it as 175 divided by 25. All right, so 1 2/10, 1 2/10 divided by 3/10. So they're taking the parts that are shaded and putting them in groups of 3/10. So how many groups of 3/10 are in 1 and 2/10? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups of 3. So basically we're looking at this as 12/10 divided by 3. 12/10 divided by 3 in each group. Right, number 2, 45/100 is shaded, and we're going to put them in groups of 9/100. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. So there's 2, 4, 5 groups of 9/100 in 45/100. Number 3, we have 96/100, and we have to put them in groups of 24/100. So I see 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we put 24 in every group because we have to find out how many groups of 24/100 can be taken from 96/100. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 equal groups. Here we have one whole, and we're going to divide by 5/10 or half. So we have 10/10, 5/10 in one group, 5/10 in another group. We have 2 groups. Number 5, use decimal models. So we have 1, and 24/100, and we're going to put them in groups of 62/100. Well, this is basically 124/100. 100 here, 20/100 here, and 4/100 here in groups of 62. So 62 in one group. If I put 62 in another group, how much is that? 62 plus 62 is 124. So I can get 2 groups of 62/100. All right, 84/100. 84/100. Okay, so 8/10 and 4/100 is basically 84/100, and we have to put them in groups of 14/100. So one group of 14, another group of 14, that's 28. 28 and 14, that's 42. Well, I know 42 plus 42 is going to be 84, so there should be 6 groups of 14. So 28 times 3 is 84. Yep. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 14/100. 1 and 6/10 is basically the same as saying 16/10. There's 10/10 here plus the 6/10 here, so 16/10. And we got to put them in groups of 4/10. So 1, 2, 3, 4/10. 1, 2, 3, 4/10. That's 8/10. 12/10. 16/10. So 4 groups. So when we're looking at these, 2 times 62 is 124. 6 times 14 is 84. 4 times 4 is 16. So if we think of these as whole numbers, it might make it easier to see that. So 2 and 4/10 divided by something gives me 3 groups. Well, how much is in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8/10. Some number divided by 32 hundredths equals 4. Well, okay, so we have 4 groups of 32 hundredths. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. So 1 and 28 hundredths. Number 10, make a model to find 6/10 divided by 15 hundredths. Describe your model. Okay. So we'd have to have 6/10, right? So I would use a hundredths model and shade 60 hundredths, which is equivalent to 6/10. I would cut apart the 60 hundredths in groups of 15 hundredths. I would get 4 groups of 15 hundredths. Okay. On number 11, using the model, what the equation represents in exercise 9. What does the equation represent in exercise 9? Well, we have 1 and 28 hundredths divided into groups of 32 hundredths, which equals 4 groups. So number 9, basically we're just explaining this. 1 and 28 hundredths divided into groups of 32 hundredths gave us 4 equal groups. All right, number 12. Shade the model below and circle to show 1 and 8/10 divided by 6/10. 1 and 8/10. So that would be all of 1 would be 10/10. And we'd shade 8/10 of the second one. Okay. And now we're going to put them in groups of 6/10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 3 groups of 6/10. Okay, page 230, number 13. Emilio buys 1 and 2/10 kilograms of grapes. He separates the grapes into packages that contain 3/10 kilogram of grapes each. How many packages of grapes does Emilio make? So we have 1 and 2/10. 1 and 2/10 divided by groups of 3/10 equals 4. So Emilio made 4 packages of grapes. All right. So write a new problem using a different amount for the weight in each package. The amount should be a decimal with tenths. Use a total amount of 1 and 5/10 kilograms of grapes. Then use decimal models to solve your problem. Okay, so let's see. Emilio buys 1 and 5/10 kilograms of grapes. He separates the grapes into packages that contain I'm going to say 5/10 kilogram. 5/10 kilogram of grapes each. How many packages of grapes does Emilio make? All right. So this is my question. Emilio buys 1 and 5/10 kilograms of grapes. He separates the grapes into packages that contain 5/10 kilograms of grapes each. How many packages of grapes does Emilio make? Well, so we're going to have so we have 10/10, and we're going to have 5/10 of another one. All right. So we have 1 and 5/10, and we're going to break them into groups of 5/10. So let's just circle groups of 5/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 5/10 divided by groups of 5/10 would be 3. He can get 3 packages. And number 14. So Jose has 2 and 31 hundredths meters of blue ribbon to cut into 33 hundredths meter long pieces. Aisha has 2 and 5 hundredths meters of ribbon. She will cut her ribbon into pieces that are 41 hundredths meters long. How many more pieces of blue ribbon than pieces of red ribbon will there be? All right, so basically we're looking at 2 and 31 hundredths divided by 33 hundredths. And we have 2 and 5 hundredths divided by 41 hundredths. So basically we're saying how many groups of 33 hundredths does it take to equal 2 and 31 hundredths, or 231 hundredths? 231 hundredths. So I'm just going to keep adding 33s until I get to 231. So 3 plus 33 is 66. 66 plus 33 is 99. 99 plus 33 is 132. 132 plus 33 is 165. 165 plus 133 is 198. And 198 plus 33 is 231. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7 groups. And in this case, we're counting groups of 41 in 205. So 41 plus 41 is 82. 82 plus 41 is 123. 123 plus 41 is 164. 164 plus 41 is 205. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many more pieces of blue ribbon than pieces of red will there be? Well, 7 take away 5 equals 2. 2 more pieces of blue ribbon. Okay. All right, so that's it for using decimal models to divide by a decimal. And so in our next lesson in chapter 5, we'll be working on dividing decimals without the models. So until then, I will see you soon.